The UK housing market has taken a sharp turn, and the Mayor of London is under scrutiny. Property prices are crashing, rental listings are disappearing, and many renters are facing higher prices and fewer options. But what's really going on, and how does this affect you? In this video, we'll break down the economic factors driving this market disruption and what you can do to protect your finances. From rising interest rates to corporate landlords taking over, we'll look at how these changes impact your rent, your savings, and your future. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to Economy Ledger for more updates on the UK housing crisis and other key economic issues. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on vital updates. The Mayor of London's rent stabilisation policy was sold as a way to protect tenants from unfair rent hikes. But what's actually happening is a mass exodus of small landlords from the market, leaving a handful of large corporations to control more rental properties in London. Let's consider the potential outcomes if this trend continues. Short-term impact. In the short term, more rental properties will likely disappear from the market. As small landlords exit, the remaining properties will be controlled by corporate entities, making rents higher due to reduced competition. Long-term scenario. Over time, we could see higher rent prices and fewer housing options, with large companies driving prices up and reducing the flexibility of rental agreements. While it's too early to say how this will unfold, one thing is clear: the market is changing, and these corporate acquisitions are altering the landscape of London's rental market. These aren't just numbers and policies, they're real impacts on people's lives. Take a look at Sarah, a renter in Southwark, who found her perfect flat only to watch it disappear overnight from every listing site. This wasn't a unique incident. Dozens of renters in London have faced the same situation, with properties disappearing without explanation. For families, small business owners, and young professionals, this market shift means higher rent costs. Small landlords are exiting the market, leaving fewer options for renters. The properties that remain are often controlled by corporate landlords who can adjust rental prices based on market conditions, making it harder for families to find affordable places to live. Impact on small business owners. Small business owners who rent commercial spaces are also feeling the pressure. With fewer properties available, they may struggle to secure affordable leases, impacting their operations. Homeowners. The rise of corporate landlords affects not only renters, but also homeowners. Rising rents and inflation may make it harder to save for a down payment or secure a mortgage as housing costs continue to rise. Let's break down what's really happening here. Corporate landlords. Large institutional investors like London Property Holdings and Metropolitan Residential Group have been buying up properties at fire sale prices. This is partly due to the Mayor's rent stabilisation initiative, which made it difficult for small landlords to continue operating. These companies are scooping up properties from distressed landlords, contributing to a concentration of power in the rental market. Impact on the housing market. These acquisitions aren't happening organically. We're seeing coordinated purchases by corporate landlords on the exact days when the market crashes, allowing them to acquire properties at discounted prices. This is a direct example of how policy changes are being used to manipulate the housing market, pushing out individual landlords and concentrating property ownership in the hands of a few large companies. Inflation and interest rates. The rise in interest rates is further squeezing the market. Higher borrowing costs for potential buyers are reducing demand for home purchases, which in turn is leading to higher rent for the properties still available. So, what can you do to protect yourself from these shifts in the rental market? Prepare for higher rent costs. If you're a renter, start budgeting for potential rent increases. Consider locking in longer leases or looking for more affordable housing options to protect yourself from price hikes. Invest in stable assets. If you're concerned about rising housing costs, diversify your investments. Instead of focusing solely on housing market or tech stocks, consider investing in government bonds, diverse equity funds, or other more stable assets. Refinance your mortgage. If you're a homeowner or looking to buy, consider refinancing your mortgage now, while interest rates are still relatively low. This could help you secure lower monthly payments in the long term. Explore alternative housing options. For renters, consider moving to less competitive areas in London, where rent prices may not have increased as drastically. You may also want to consider negotiating your rent or looking for opportunities to share accommodation to keep costs down. Whatever your situation, it's important to take proactive steps now. The UK economy is going through some changes, and by preparing in advance, you can avoid being blindsided by rising costs or a potential slowdown in the economy. The UK housing market is particularly vulnerable to global economic forces, but there are local factors that make the UK more susceptible to market volatility. London's housing market. London's rental market is overexposed to both global economic shifts and local policy decisions. The concentration of property ownership among a few large companies is changing the dynamics of the rental market, making it harder for individuals to find affordable housing. Brexit impact. The economic uncertainty post-Brexit has had lasting effects on the housing market. These effects are compounded by interest rate hikes and inflation pressures. Regulatory challenges. The policies introduced by the Mayor's office, such as the Rent Stabilisation Initiative, may have been well-intended, but they've inadvertently pushed out small landlords, causing more harm than good. This is a clear example of how policymakers can influence the market in unintended ways. What do you think about the growing dominance of corporate landlords in London? Do you think the rent stabilisation policies will help or hurt renters in the long term? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue this conversation. How are you preparing for the potential changes in the UK housing market? Let me know what steps you're taking to safeguard your finances. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more updates on the UK economy and other important financial trends. Like this video if you think these changes in the rental market will impact you, and leave a comment below to share how you're preparing for potential changes. Hit the notification bell so you can stay informed with future insights on the economy. Stay prepared, stay ahead, and I'll see you in the next video.